from all the day drinking. What's happening, everybody? I'm Allie Burns from Picks Parlays, and this is another round of MLB Total Chaos with the Winners and Whiners crew. You guys kind of crushed it last week. Scott and Scott both went 5-0 last week. It was pretty righteous, man. We've had people go 5-0 before, but not both of our contestants on the same show. So that was pretty awesome. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone to like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications, and don't forget about Caesar Sportsbook, the official sponsor of Picks and Parlays. Up to $1,100 for all new accounts, up to $1,100 in first bet insurance. Find the link in the description of this video or use the promo code MORNINGCZR. All right, we're going to get this party started. I'm going to give them 4 baseball games that happened on Wednesday, June the 1st. These 3 experts are going to tell me if they're going over or under the total. It's going to be Scott Steehn. 28-24 is your record. How are you feeling about this contest today?
Yeah, I'm feeling okay here. You got Cincinnati, Boston, Hunter Green against Garrett Whitlock. Either one of these pitchers are going to put too much fear into the hearts of opponent. Cincinnati's actually been putting up some runs lately after spending most of the season locked in an ice cave. Not counting the game they put up 20 this week. They still averaged 4 runs per game in their last 6. Green's last 5 starts, 4-0-1. That's Whitlock's as well. They put up 20 in Green's last start. The bullpen, they are, let's call them hit and miss in this one. Boston was on the wrong side of a 10-0 loss on Monday night. They're giving up some runs. This bullpen still trash. They come up with new ways to have the bullpen trash games. I'm going to play the over 9 here. I think one of these teams breaks through for at least 6+, and that should drag us over the finish line.
All right, Reichel, what are your thoughts on this one?
I'm going with the over as well. Boston has scored at least 5 runs in 10 of its last 13 games. Green's pitching for Cincinnati. His numbers on the road are not very good. 30 2/3 innings pitched, 5.58 ERA. I think he'll struggle in Fenway. And Whitlock's been decent overall, but at home he has not been very good. 22 1/3 innings pitched, 4.43 ERA. I see runs, not to mention how bad the bullpens are. Give me the over.
All right, Chris King, what say thee?
I'm going to lean the other way. I just think this one's going to be contrarian once. While as bad as Green was early in the season, other than that start against the Cubs, he had turned in 3 straight good starts where he'd given up a total of 4 runs in 18 2/3, including the 7 1/3 no-hit innings in the game he lost 1-0 because they couldn't field the ball. While Whitlock hasn't been great, he's also coming off a game where he gave up 2 runs in 6 innings, and it was the bullpen that exploded to turn that game into a 12-8 contest. I just don't see this one being a high-scoring affair. Boston hasn't been great offensively at home unless they're playing the Orioles. I think it's going to stay under. I think it's going to be probably a 5-3 game and end up at 8.
All right, unless they were playing the Orioles yesterday. Twins, Tigers, 7.5, over and Scooball. Reichel, you're up first. Over or under the 7.5 hook?
I'm going to go with the under in this one. I'm a fan of both pitchers here. Over on the road this season's been great. 11 innings pitched, 0.82 ERA. And Scooball's pitching for Detroit. He's been great this season, but at night, he's been particularly great. 23 2/3 innings pitched, 1.9 ERA. We know Minnesota has some firepower offensively. Detroit, not so much. 7.5 seems like where the number should be, but I'll lean to the under. I think you'll see a 4-2 type game.
Mr. King, what do you think?
I agree with Scott. I think it's going to stay under the total. And Scooball, his biggest problem in previous years was giving up the long ball. He gave up 35 last year. I think he's only given up 2 so far this season. And even with the Twins being able to hit, like Scott said, Detroit doesn't score any runs, and that's been their biggest issue. They spent all that money on guys like Javier Baez to create a lot of wind, and that's about it. I think it's going to end up probably 4-2, 5-1, and stay under the number.
To create a lot of wind. I like that. Well played, Chris King. Well played. What do you think, Scott Steehn?
Yeah, at first glance, you look at this game and you see 2 outstanding pitchers. Scooball has been really, really good, especially his last 5 outings. He's been outstanding. Been waiting on this kid to mature for a couple of years now. Scott and I have been talking about him. It looks like he's finally found his footing and turned into an actual major league pitcher. However, this is a Minnesota team that's leaking a little bit of oil here lately. They just gave up 20 runs in 4 games to the Royals. That's not a good sign at all. I'm not sure I have the confidence in either one of these bullpens to shut it down. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to be contrarian. I'm going to play the over 7.5.
Over. Oh, shoot. I didn't realize that was up on the screen. My bad. My bad. Okay, next one. We're talking the Rays at the Rangers. The number is 8. Springs and Gray. Chris, you are up first.
Boy, it's really tough to figure which way to go because Springs keeps the teams in check. The under's 4-1 in his 5 starts. But with John Gray, he's notorious for getting lit up like the Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center. It's gone over in 5 of his 7 outings. And he hasn't been good with a 5.56 ERA. We saw, 14 or 15 runs yesterday in the first game of the series with better pitchers. I think this one's going to end up over the number. Springs can only do so much before Tampa Bay's bats go bat shit on Gray and push this one over the number.
All right. Steehn, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Chris on this one. It is a little difficult when you've got Jeffrey Springs involved. He's been outstanding so far this season. He gave up no runs in his 8 relief appearances, 2.35 ERA, 0.87 whip. As a starter, the under is 4-1 in his 5 starts. However, this is all about John Gray, and it's about what this Texas offense can do. This is another offense that really was in the tank for the first part of the season, but they've broken out over the last week. They've averaged 7.3 runs per game. I think Tampa Bay can do quite a bit of damage against John Gray, and I think Texas can do enough against Jeffrey Springs. And a surprisingly, can I say, average Tampa Bay bullpen, a team that's usually known for their bullpen prowess, 4.04 ERA this season out of the pen, not those outstanding numbers we're used to seeing. Texas could even nick the Rays for a couple runs late. I like the over 8 in this one.
All right, Reichel, are we making it a hat trick?
Yeah, I'm going to make it a consensus. I'm going with the over. Just to go through the numbers here, Texas offensively has scored at least 5 runs in each of the last 4 games, so it has been kind of playing solidly offensively. Gray, last 3 starts, he's been atrocious. 17 2/3 innings pitched, 5.6 ERA. And Springs has been good, but Texas is actually decent hitting against left-handed pitching. Texas ranks tied for 12th in OPS against left-handed pitching. So I do think they can do enough to generate some runs. Plus at 8, you have an extra inning draw at 4-4. I don't mind it. I think you'll see this game go slightly over, probably land somewhere around 9 or 10.
All right, all right. Last one for the round. We're talking the Pirates of the Dodgers. And who's up first? It's Steehn again.
Yep.
The number's 9. What do you think?
Jose Quintana has been really, really good for Pittsburgh this season. One of the few bright spots for the Buccos. Mitch White, even though he's dead to Scott and I, very well his last time out. Went 4 innings, 0 earned, just 2 hits against the Diamondbacks, right, Scott, if I remember right?
Yep, that is correct.
I remember. Here's the deal. The Dodgers leading scoring team in the majors. However, the over is just 22-24-1 in their 49 games so far. Quintana has been especially good lately over his last 4 starts. 0.82 ERA, 109 whip. And in his last 9 starts, the under is 5-3-1. I am going to go under the 9. Give me a little nighttime marine layer there in Southern California as well to help keep the ball in the ballpark.
All right. Scott Reichel, what do you think?
I'm going with the under as well. Quintana, I roasted last year for being arguably the worst pitcher in the league, but he's been amazing. And he even had 1 start against the Dodgers earlier this year, 6 innings, no runs. Quintana's last 5 starts, 27 innings pitched, 1.33 ERA. He's been amazing. And the Pirates are also terrible offensively. Pittsburgh's averaging 3.43 runs per game, which ranks 28th in the league. Even if the Dodgers break through offensively, I'm not sure how much Pittsburgh contributes. So even if the Dodgers get to 6, there's no guarantee Pittsburgh gets to 3. So I'm going to go with the under.
All right. Chris King, finish us off, friend. Over under the 9.
I'm just going to be different and say it's going to go over. I mean, you look at the fact that, Quintana's pitched well. Quintana's also been very lucky. I said this last week when he pitched. I told Steehn that he's the Eddie Harris of Major League Baseball, where all he throws is junk. Sooner or later, somebody's going to tee off on him. It might as well be the Dodgers. As for White in his 2 starts, the Dodgers have scored 21 runs. They can go over the number by themselves. Pittsburgh's bullpen isn't anything to write home about. We saw that yesterday. Even Bednar got beat up in the 8th. I think this one's going to end up over. Mitch White will have another 4-inning game where he doesn't get to get the win, even though his team's up by multiple runs, because Dave Roberts decides to bring out the bullpen. It'll end up over 9.
All right, all right. So that does it for this round. We are going to do a recap, but first I want to introduce you to our expert handicappers. You guys can get to know them a little bit better. Scott Steehn, you are the champ right now in the Winners and Whiners crew. 28, 24, and 1. Guys, check out his show Back to the Window with Scott and Scott every day at 3 p.m. Eastern. Mr. Steehn, please tell us what you're all about over there.
We're all about laying out some good picks, weighing in. If you guys have any questions, love talking to people in the comment section. They drop us questions about games or about life in general, about why Reichel never leaves his house, things like that. So we have a good time.
Vegas 2 weeks ago.
That could be its own show.
We had the discussion a couple of weeks ago before he went to Vegas whether he's been to the grocery store or Vegas more since he moved to Brooklyn, and he had to think about it. He decided
I vote Vegas.
It was a 3-2 win for the grocery store. So. But we have a lot of fun. We have some segments to review the action of yesterday's action. We talk about some of the bad beats and some of the easy wins, and generally we just try to move that 45 minutes along as fast as possible, throw in some picks, and have a blast along the way.
And then you also do a NASCAR show. Tell the people the other shows that you do real quick before I.
Well, of course, Scott and I do daily picks. We put video picks up every single day, so you can catch those. Either early, depending on what kind of a late night person you are, either really late at night or really early in the morning. And then we do our show 5 days a week at 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. I co-host with Chris King as he lays out his best parlays. He's the man, by the way. I know we bragged about his 10-teamer last week. Yes. I'm going to brag about it again. Hit a 10-teamer last Tuesday, I think it was.
No, it was Thursday. That's when Mitch White pitched.
That's right, Thursday.
Because we were talking about it that day. So. That's a lot of fun. He lays out a lot of stats, a lot of trends and everything as he reaches his conclusion on the parlays. And then we picked up a hitchhiker for our NASCAR show. We picked up your pal, Reichel. He's now part of the squad. So there's
awesome.
There's 4 NASCAR minds with about 1.5 brains between the 4 of them. We'll break down the NASCAR race every week. And Scott and I we finally reached some bragging material. We are both profitable on this season for our NASCAR picks. So
I've been profitable for 2 months. What do you mean, finally?
We're both profitable.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, thanks for catching up to me. Why are you dragging me into this? I've been profitable for 2 months.
Hey, in fairness, he just overtook you in total chaos. So,
That's fair.
That's right.
Stehn's on a heater right now. He's on a bit of a heater.
It's the month of Steehn right there. So
that's the month's over because it's June tomorrow.
Yeah,
that goes up. That goes up every Saturday at 12:01 Eastern time, so you can check out our NASCAR picks for that week's race. So other than that, do some premium picks. You can get those on the website. You can get them if you watch any of our videos, you can catch them in the descriptions. And of course, we're all excited about the move over to Max Wagers Network on 2 weeks from last Monday.
I know, it's a fish. It's finally.
You mean yesterday or 2 weeks from yesterday?
Nope, not when they watch this, buddy.
Well, that's true. Okay, so, 2 weeks from the other day.
There you go.
I keep forgetting that we
You're going to hurt yourself. You're going to hurt yourself trying to own me, Chris. Just drop it off, buddy.
Mitch White, I just owned you.
Get off that blog. It's over.
Scott Reichel, we know we can find you on Back to the Window with Scott and Scott every day at 3 p.m. Eastern. But what about on the Twitter at Reichel Radio? What are you all about over there?
Mostly ranting about sports, talking to myself, usual stuff people do on Twitter. But
yelling into the void.
Yeah, pretty much yelling to the void, hoping somebody at least acknowledges it's there. You don't have to respond or anything, but as long as you can.
Things when I see them.
Thank you, I appreciate that. But besides that, trying to keep Steehn in check for an hour is not easy. I'm sure Chris can attest to that. But besides that, just looking forward to the culmination of a couple of playoffs, both in the NBA and the NHL, and it's fun giving out picks and thoughts on games every day.
Absolutely. And Chris King. So hold on, let me take you out for 1 second and give you a proper intro right here. So last week, it was Thursday that all 3 of you did this. Reichel went 5-0, Steehn went 5-0, but Chris King had a 10-team parlay that we've alluded to several times. Chris King, find him on Just Parlays every day at 2 p.m. Eastern. Tell us how you do it. Tell us about the Magic Man. Your Magic Man.
I don't know how much magic is involved. It's a matter of staring at the stats until your eyes cross and you're ready to punch yourself in the face. But no, we were fortunate last week. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I had to sweat out Stehn's Kansas City team rally from a 2-0 deficit in the 8th for that.
Roaring back in the 8th. Roaring back came the Royals.
Yeah, roaring back only to try to give it away at the bottom of the frame by letting pay amps give up 3 straight hits.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah, good times, unless you were betting on the Royals, which, of course, Steehn doesn't have to worry about that because he never bets on them.
Can you imagine having 1,000 to 1 shot riding on the Royals getting out of a bases loaded, nobody out jam without giving up a run? That's what it came down to for Chris King. And Scott Barlow will forever, I'm assuming, have a special place in your heart, buddy.
Yeah, he's going to go up on the wall of fame somewhere, in the garage.
Get your Barlow jersey right between the Cubs and the Bills bottle cap on your wall.
I collect a ton of baseball cards, so if I come across one, I will definitely send it your way.
There you go.
Yeah, maybe he should autograph it too.
Sure.
But no, it was a good night.
Sorry, well, I'm not in charge of that part.
we had a good week overall last week, and yesterday was weird with the way everything broke, where everything that you thought was going to happen went the other way. So it just reminds me of what the late Roddy Piper once said, where just when you think you have all the answers, I change the questions. And that's basically the way yesterday went.
So you typically give out two team parlays and a 10-teamer on the show?
And a 4.
So two teams, a 4-team, and a 10-team.
That's correct.
By the way,
Chris
is being a little humble. If you hit 1,000 to 1 parlay, you haven't had a pretty good day. You've had a pretty good year.
Yeah.
Because $100 makes you $100,000 on that. So
yeah,
that makes
you could just take the rest of the year off. You're cool.
That's right. That's right.
At this point, you're just going to start giving it all back.
My partner's being a little humble there. I can't brag about that enough. And it's the second one he's hit in about 10 weeks.
Yes, so that's why you've got to check them out, guys. Like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Don't only do it on the Picks and Parlays channel, do it on the Winners and Whiners YouTube channel as well. Lots of great stuff coming out of their channel. They've merged with Picks and Parlays, or we've merged together, and we're creating the Max Wagers Network. Definitely like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications on that channel as well. We're busy. We're freaking building an empire here, people. Get on board. Get on board before it's too late. Don't forget about Caesar Sportsbook, up to $1,100 in first bet insurance for all new accounts. Use that promo code MORNINGCZR. All right, let's get to the recap. We've got the Reds and the Red Sox. The number's 9. The Scots are taking it over. Chris King goes under. Twins are at the Tigers, 7.5, where Reichel and King are going under. Steehn takes it over. Rays and Rangers, it's an 8. We all agree that puppy is going over the total. And Pirates Dodgers, the number's 9. The Scots take it under. King goes over. That's the way we're playing this round of MLB Total Chaos. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Excellent work as always, and may the best capper win.
Thanks, Allie.